Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I've been working on the shop a little bit in the new garage, and I've got to a point where I'm making some workbenches. And I made these workbenches at my old shop, and I had them for almost 7 years. I really liked them. I always thought that they would be something good to put on the YouTube channel to show other people how to make them. Now, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that I like to make things that you guys can make as well. So I've actually got two workbenches right now. This is more of a standalone workbench. This is the workbench that I'm going to be making right now, and this is the exact same workbench that you see right there. See, looks fairly similar. So in the description on this video, I'll have a link to my shared folder. And if you go into my shared folder and you go to the 8x2 workbench, or this one over here, I'm calling the 6x3 workbench, and you pull these up, you can print these out. And what these will do is these will tell you the cut pieces that you need for the 2x4s, the masonite, and I don't have it on this one, but I updated this that's in the shared folder, and it has this, and this is the specific boards. So you can see it takes 9 boards, and these are 2x4s, and they're 96 inches long. But I've broken it down for you to tell you, like, to take 4 boards and cut them 64 inches, and then 25 inches, and you'll have 7 inches of drop off, so that you can optimize the wood the most. So what I'm going to build right now is the 2 by 8 foot workbench. I've already gone to Home Depot. I've picked up the boards. I put them in my little sedan car, because as long as you can fit 96 inch long 2x4s in there, and if you can put 2 foot by 4 foot boards in your trunk, on my car I just fold down the seats, then you can pick up these parts, you can bring them home, and you can assemble this if you're in an apartment, or if you've just got a loft, or you just want to do this in your basement, whatever. You can carry these pieces pretty much anywhere and assemble this. So for that $108, I've got 9 96 inch 2x4s right here. And then the workbench really calls for 2 of these. This is a 2 foot by 4 foot 1/4 inch masonite that is pegboard. It calls for 2 of those. My application is going to be a little bit different here, so I've got 4 of them, but you can do it with 2 of them. And then I've got 2 pieces of 2 foot by 4 foot 3/4 inch masonite. This is going to be the workbench top, and I've got 2 of them, and they'll get put together to make 8 feet. This is 3/4 of an inch wide. If you wanted to cut down costs a little bit, because these are $15 a piece, they also have 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is really still very strong. I go with the 3/4 inch because I'm going to be doing some welding and having some heavy pieces on here, but you could get away with 1/2 inch. And then this is a 2 foot by 4 foot piece of 1/4 inch masonite, and these are just going to be on the bottom shelf of the workbench. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip through all these boards, going through my cut list, and just pre-cut all the pieces. So as you can see behind me now, I've got my boards, my 4 boards cut, and they're screwed up to the wall there. Now, I've changed that a little bit from the design, and obviously the design that I gave you guys, the design is really just a starter design. There's a million ways that you can change this up. However, the way that I have it drawn here, it's really meant to freestand. That's why there's 3 legs in the front, there's 3 legs in the back, and they go up just high enough to support the 2x4 pegboard, and then, you know, that's as high as they go. But with my application here, I'm not making this freestanding, I'm securing this to the wall. So I've got 4 boards instead of 3, so that I can match the 24-inch centers of the pegboard that I'm installing. Because I'm not doing the 2x4 pegboard going lengthwise, I'm doing the 2x4 pegboard going up and down, so that I can have a taller back wall on the board, and then I'm gonna have a shelf up there on the top. So I've already got these boards screwed in place, ready to go. Now I'm going to start piling up the pieces and building the front portion. The way I'm gonna do this is, I'm gonna take my top piece, I'm gonna flip it upside down, I'm gonna take the 36-inch front boards, and while it's laying upside down, I'm going to lightly screw them in place. Then I'm going to take that assembly, I'm going to flip it upright, and then I'm going to set it into place, throw a level on the top, and once I've got it leveled and in place, then I'm going to screw it to these boards on the back, and then I'll take the shelf that goes on the bottom, and my shelf is going to be 9 inches up off the ground. And the best way I found to do that is just cut 4 pieces 9 inches long, and I'll set them in place. And then I'll set the shelf on top of there and then screw that in place. Hey guys, that's it. The workbench is done. As you can see, it's not anything really fancy. It's not a woodworker's workbench. This is a workbench for a dude that wants to do some fabricating in his garage, doesn't want to spend a bunch of money or time making a really overly fancy workbench. This is a workbench that is easy to build, and it's an extremely good workbench, and it's very versatile. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. Like I showed you before, the whole thing is screwed together using 2.5-inch number 8 wood screws. The fact that the whole thing is screwed together, except the top plates and the shelf plates, those are stuck on with, you can use liquid nails, construction adhesive. I used just an old tube of silicone that I had laying around. Put a couple of dabs on that just so that those surfaces don't move. That's why I've got a bunch of junk laying on here right now, is I just put that on there, and I'm gonna give these about 24 hours to just sit while everything hardens. But if you needed to tear this bench apart, like I did when I moved here, you can take all the screws out, you can take it apart. If you just knock these with a hammer, they'll break loose and everything's down in pieces, and you can go wherever the hell you want with it. This is the worktop. You can see it's got, I think this is a 5-inch overhang. I like a pretty good overhang because I like to be able to kind of walk into the workbench a little bit. But if you're going to be doing some real heavy work or something, you can just trim this back so that it's not hanging off so much. Maybe you give yourself 2 inches. You want to give yourself a little bit, but you could trim that up as you see fit. But I'll be using this bench more for working on wiring harnesses and rebuilding shock absorbers and things like that. So it doesn't need to be super heavy duty. So guys, I know typically my videos are about me working on something on the Baja, which don't worry, I'm still working on the Baja. I've been actively working on the trailer. The Baja is on the trailer and getting close to the point where I can actually take it on the road. But I've always thought if I made more of these workbenches, and I'm making a whole bunch of them for this new shop, that I would just do a video showing just real rough how I assemble it, but most of all, it would be showing you guys that in the shared folder, there's a couple of different drawings with some dimensions to help you guys out if you want to build one. Either way, I hope the video is helping you guys out. I hope you're getting out working on something, whatever it might be, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.